All right. Let's start this with 2021 TR 244, State of Kansas versus Nicholas Shelton. Will counsel announce appearances?
Please the court, Your Honor. State of Kansas appears by and through Brandon T. Richa, Assistant Kingman County Attorney.
Your Honor, the defendant apparently appears by his attorney, Michael Johnston. Well, I guess I'm here. He is up there. Oh, well, that's news to me. I haven't heard.
Okay. Yes, and Mr. Shelton's here via Zoom in person. Mr. Shelton, can you hear us? You'll have to unmute.
Hello?
Okay.
I guess that's him.
Mr. Shelton, can you hear us?
I can hear you. I'm not sure why it's got me doing, I don't really know what's going on, but I'm here. I don't know how to make it go back. I don't.
All right.
Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yeah, yes, we can hear you. Okay.
Okay.
Mr. Johnston, where are we with this case?
Well, thanks, Judge. As the court's aware, Mr. Shelton has another case pending before the district court. I've been reluctant to go forward on this case during the pendency of that. I understand that the court's patience isn't infinite. However, I would like to ask to continue it again to the 19th of August.
Mr. Richard, do you have any objection to continuing this until August 19th?
Not at this time, Judge.
Okay, thank you. So we'll continue this until August 19th at 1:30.
You got that, Nick?
I do. The 19th at 1:30.
Yes, Nick.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nick.
Hello? Damn it. Nothing. Okay, August 19th at 1:30.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. All right. I'm not sure why, but the Zoom meeting put me on one of I'm like on the wall surveillance cam for some reason. Looking down at you guys. I don't know.
Because we're in the courtroom, so you can see it. That's so you can see us.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just a little different setup.
All right. I will see you guys then.
Okay,
Okay.
thank
All
you.
right. I didn't know if it was my tablet. Yep. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, all right. And next we have Jeremiah Cardenas, who doesn't seem to be in the waiting room.
Okay.
So this is 2021 CR 78. State versus Jeremiah Cardenas. Mr. Rich is here for the state. Mr. Johnston's here for Mr. Cardenas, who does not seem to appear. Mr. Johnston.
Well, honestly, it's hard for me to know what to make of that. I continue to believe that this case is not terribly complicated. I've reviewed the evidence and have had some difficulty contacting Mr. Cardenas. So I guess I'd ask to pass it to the 19th and give me another opportunity to try and track him down so we can see if we can't get this matter finished.
Mr. Ritchie?
Your Honor, I'm curious at this point. He was granted no R bond, but was supposed to do court service for pretrial supervision. I know we don't have Ms. Hageman in the courtroom today, but I do wonder if he's been reporting to her or if there's an issue there.
I don't have any idea. I could go up and ask her.
I don't necessarily oppose Mr. Johnston trying to get a hold of him and having a little more time to do that. I'm just wondering how, ultimately if that will be kind of a waste of.
Well, why don't we do this? Why don't we continue to the 19th? I'll check with Sue to see if he has been reporting, and I'll report back to you. And if he doesn't show up, we can issue a bench warrant.
Fair enough.
All right, well, I'm glad you all worked that out.
Glad we could help, Judge.
We'll continue this until the 19th at 1:30. And tell Mr. Cardenas that he needs to appear, he needs to report if he's not doing so.
I'm going to go up and check with her before I leave, Judge.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay. Thanks, Brandon.
And is that all you have?
It is, Judge.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Johnson.
You're welcome, Judge.
Okay. We have Mr. Lynch in two different things, correct?
Well, I think one of the special prosecutor case he was on resolved itself.
Oh, okay.
Well, it didn't resolve itself. He resolved it with the defendant.
Yeah, I remember getting an order on that. I just wanted to make sure that I was remembering correctly. And then, so he's here in Mr. Brock's name. And I'm going to let him in. Good afternoon, Mr. Lynch.
Howdy.
Have you heard from Mr. Brock?
I spoke to him either early this week or late last week, told him about court, and I spoke with his a friend of his yesterday, and she said she would relay the information that he had court by Zoom at 1:30 today.
All right. I'm going to look one more time. And no, I don't see anybody. I don't see Mr. Brock in the waiting room. So let me ask Mr. Richa first this time. Mr. Richa, how would you like to proceed?
Judge, this is a pretty frustrating situation. I guess my understanding too is that Mr. Brock has some hearings in front of you in Pratt County coming up soon.
We've got
Yeah,
preliminary hearing next week, I believe, right?
that's correct, Judge. I think it's at 2:00 Wednesday.
I mean, at this point, we're just sentencing. He pled last time. We've resolved the restitution issue that should actually be very much to the satisfaction of Mr. Brock. I just don't know why he can't seem to show up. Sounds like this is maybe a frequent issue, no matter the jurisdiction.
Mr. Brock has some challenges.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess, like I said, I hate to request this because we're so close to resolving the case, but I guess at this point, I would just ask for a bench warrant for failure to appear and see if he shows up. Maybe he'll show up in Pratt, then we can get him done here.
All right. Would you like to come over to Pratt next week to do a?
I mean, depending, what's that, Wednesday, I might be able to zoom in and get that done.
Okay. Mr. Lynch, what's your position on this?
So, Your Honor, I would ask for a 1-week continuance. Mr. Brock's supposed to appear in person in Pratt next week for his preliminary hearing. Hopefully he will at that point, and then I can make it very clear that he needs to appear the following day. in this court. I think his plan is to come down and stay in Pratt the night before. So maybe he could just extend that one day and then appear in person in Kingman County the following day to make sure that he gets there and there's no technical issues. And if he's not in Pratt, I'd imagine the court will issue a bench warrant at that point, and it could issue one in this case just a week later as well if he doesn't appear.
Yeah, or a day later if you didn't. Actually, if he shows up Wednesday, I'm going to tell him he needs to show up on Thursday. So, normally, because Mr. Brock has some challenges, I would issue a bench warrant, but I think it's probably better if we wait a week, and so I'm going to continue this for 1 week until 1:30 next Thursday on August 5th. And Mr. Brock may end up with 2 bench warrants if he didn't show up for his preliminary hearing. On the other hand, if he does show up, I will tell him that he'll end up with a bench warrant if he doesn't show up the next day, 30 miles away, 35 miles away. All right. We will see what happens.
All right. Thank you, Judge.
Yeah, and you,
Thank you.
and you resolved that case where you are the prosecutor, correct?
Correct.
All right. Well, have a good day then.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Smith.
Afternoon, Your Honor.
Okay, you've had so many continuances. I'm gonna just have you help me on I almost thought, is it Christina Hernandez you're here?
I think Hernandez has been resolved, Judge.
Yes. Okay, so I won't buy a lottery ticket today because I'm no good on this. Mr. Smith, which case do we still have?
Yes, Your Honor. I believe we're just down to Joshua Moore, case number 21TR197.
That was my next one. So thank you for that. You had several, and I got a bunch of continuances from several people in the last few days, and I just kind of lost track. I apologize. So where are we with Mr. Moore?
Well, Your Honor, I believe I was appointed to the case a few weeks ago. We pulled his contact information off of the court documents we received in the discovery, and have attempted reaching out to him by letter, phone, and email even, because we did see the court had his email address. Unfortunately, we have not heard from him. So at this point, I was hoping he would appear by Zoom or in court today so that I could make contact with him. But at this point, I guess all I can do is just request a continuance and try to continue to contact Mr. Moore. It's a first offense driving while suspended. I don't believe it's going to be something that would be difficult to resolve. There might be some restitution involved that I know Mr. Rich is looking into because there was an alleged vehicle rollover. So that's one thing we're working through. But at this point, Your Honor, if we could just continue it once, hopefully Mr. Moore can respond to our correspondence and we can get the case moving.
All right, thanks. Mr. Ritchie.
Judge, I know I'd spoken briefly with Mr. Smith about this. I wasn't aware that he was having trouble with his client responding. I guess I'm not necessarily, is this the first time that Mr. Smith, you've appeared on behalf of Mr. Moore.
Yeah, I believe so. I think looking at the record there, he might have failed to appear for his first appearance, but at some point a bench warrant was recalled, and then ultimately I was appointed. I think it's like a couple weeks ago. I believe it was in July.
It was July 8th.
July 8th. Okay.
Yeah, that sounds right. I'm not horrifically opposed to Mr. Smith getting another opportunity. Fortunately, it seems like he's done everything he had access to, so I don't know if it will particularly help. But I mean, a brief continuance is probably not something I'm going to be against at this point. Although it may just be delaying the inevitable. Maybe he'll show up like he did last time we had a bench warrant against him, though.
Okay. Mr. Smith, how does August 12th sit with you?
Your Honor, August 12th should be. Yep, that works for my schedule, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. And so we'll continue this until August 12th, and good luck getting a hold of Mr. Moore.
Thank you, Your Honor. Can I safely assume that if he does not appear on August 12th, that a bench warrant would be issued at that time?
That will be the state's request.
And I will be more persuaded to do that. I hate doing bench warrants on driving while suspended, but sometimes even a bench warrant with an OR bond would get us, we'll get some attention. I think that's what we did the first time. So.
Okay. I just asked because I'll send him additional correspondence, and I'll include a note that it's important that he contact me or at least appear. Otherwise, a bench warrant could be issued as stated by the court.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You have a good afternoon.
You do the same, Judge. You too, Mr. Richa.
We'll see you. Thank you.
Okay, next we have Mr. Bramwell. All right, we've got Mr. Bramwell here for his, looks like 4 cases. 21 CR 84, 83, 21 CR 6, and 21 CR 46. Mr. Bramwell, where are we with your cases? I think you were trying to retain counsel. Is that correct?
Yes.
And where are we with that?
I'm giving her the rest of the money today, and she said that she had asked for police reports or something of that, something like that, and she has not received them.
All right.
Well, Judge, I received a call from Ms. Crayer today, just before lunch. Obviously, without entering an appearance, we're not going to send discovery out. So sending police reports and requested that wouldn't have happened yet. However, she did indicate to me that she was meeting with Mr. Bramwell today, and that would certainly determine her entering an appearance, as she has not yet. She asked if I would continue it a week to make sure that happened. So I'm okay with the 1 week continuance under those circumstances.
All right. All right. So, Mr. Bramwell, I'm going to continue this 1 week until August 5th at 1:30, and see if you can get your attorney's appearance entered. And then, we'll either take it up with your attorney next week or take it up without your attorney next week, and you may have to make other arrangements.
Okay.
Okay? But hopefully you'll get everything worked out. So we'll do this again on August 5th at 1:30.
All right. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And then we've got Mr. Foreman.
Here, up here.
Yes. Mr. Foreman, can you hear us? You have to unmute.
Now, can you hear me? My apologies.
No, that's fine. Thank you. So, Mr. Foreman, you're here on a pay or appear. Where are we on getting this paid off?
I don't actually have it all paid off, but I am still working on it. I just recently had to move back to Pratt to help out with some family problems, and I put in an application at the gypsum mill, and they told me I got the job. So I'm waiting on my background check to go through, and I'll start work there. But I mean, I really am trying. I just don't have the money to pay for it right now.
Okay, and do you know how much you still owe?
I think maybe like 600, probably maybe 650.
Okay, have you made any payments?
I made one payment because that's all the money I've had since the last time. I had to quit my job and move back.
Okay. Mr. Rich, Mr. Foreman's asking for more time to pay on this. It sounds like he's got that he has been hired with a new job and might have some income coming in. What's your position?
Looks like sentencing was done in this case in March. March 10th of this year, had the initial 75 days or so. May 27th, he asked for continuance, and then here we are today. I'm not inclined to agree to a lot of more continuances just because we're more than about 4.5 months out. So if we do another continuance, I'd really like to see something happen in the meantime. So if Your Honor is willing to do an additional continuance, I just would note that I think at that point, like if you do another 60 days, we'll be at 6 months, 6+ months since the sentencing. So.
All right. So, Mr. Foreman, I'm going to continue this until September 30th at 1:30. And that'll give you another 60 days, but I really need to see an effort to pay. I need to see some more payments.
I will make some progress on that, and I apologize that I haven't made much, honestly.
Okay, well, you know, you have been unemployed, but it sounds like congratulations on the new job. And, you know, if you can just pay a little bit out of each paycheck, you'll get this paid off really, really quickly. And so we'll check back in 60 days and hopefully we'll see several payments made by now.
All right.
You don't have to have
Yes,
it paid off. They don't have to be huge, but you know, show me an effort here, okay?
I will.
Okay, and we'll do that at 1:30 p.m. and you can just sign in just like you did today.
All righty. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Good luck to you.
Appreciate it. You have a good day.
All right. And on Russell Mason, have you heard anything about his diversion?
It looks like we have the money that just came in. Kim is on vacation this week, so nobody's been able to process that yet. So we should have that case resolved. I guess I would ask for a 1 week continuance just to make sure that happens.
All right. Let's continue this for 1 week until August 5th at 1:30. And here is Mr. Moore has appeared in the waiting room. So we can tell him to get a hold of Mr. Smith. Hold on, let me bring him in. Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Can you hear us? Okay, so your attorney was here on Zoom earlier, and we already called your case. He said he had some trouble getting a hold of you, and apparently he's got a bad address. Have you received anything from your attorney?
I have not. I didn't know what address you guys had for me. I hope that I didn't get a warrant because I was sitting here trying to find good service to get into the Zoom meeting.
No, you
I'm up in
didn't.
Nebraska.
Yeah, no, you did not. And do you have Mr. Smith's contact information?
I do not. Do you have that for me already? Phone number?
Yes. Why don't you, because we're doing this and we're streaming on YouTube. And so can you call the Kingman County Clerk's office and
Yes.
the district court clerk, and they will give you his contact information. And then he really wants to hear from you. He's looking forward to hearing from you.
Yes, sir.
And so, anyway, so we continued this until August 12th to give him more of an opportunity to get a hold of you. So hopefully, maybe you can get everything figured out by then.
Yes, sir.
All right. So
All right,
just call our clerk's office, and we will, and they'll give you his, the contact information for your attorney.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right.
And then give him a call because because I really don't want to issue a bench warrant, and I don't want a mix up to happen. Okay.
Right.
Okay. All right.
I'll call him as soon as I'm done working today.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Another hour or two, so.
Okay.
All right.
And we'll see you in 2 weeks.
All right. Yes, sir. Thank you.
And I believe that's all we have.
That's all I have. And I don't believe you have any sync cases today either, do you?
I don't, but I've got some work to do on them anyway. So anyway, thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.
Uh-huh.